Last year, the spectacle that was the Marble Survival 100 thrilled and, frankly, tired out quite a few of our competitors in what was a gauntlet day after day after day. This time, we are back for Season 2. Slightly different format, slightly different video format as well. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. This is a wide open commentary box, and this is not a wide open course, full of obstacles, and today, since we're at the beginning, full of marbles as well. We take a look at some of those obstacles waiting them: the clothespin snappers, the fidget spinner masher, the side sweepers that'll throw you sideways instead of down the course, the ball-bearing bashers, they live up to their name, the battering ram, the crazy chevron, and the bell carousel, which goes by many other names that are not so kind. Here are all of our competitors to start off. There's 32 of them, if you can keep track. And we'll walk you through this one. Of course, the goal in Marble Survival, don't be last. Everybody's starting side by side. Bit of a gap down here that you see for Red Eye. And down they come. Those little pyramids. Those little diamonds, stratifying them already. And this is quite a pinch point. Red Eye stuck to the side there, watching everyone go through. That is letting Tumult from Balls of Chaos catch up. And once again, complete stoppage as they work side to side. This is, of course, the most marbles that you will see in one round of this competition. We focus mostly on the back because that's where you don't want to be. Thankfully, for those marbles farther behind, most of the energy of that spinner was already gone by the time they reached it. Trundling our way down the course here, we take a look up front. Crazy chevron smacking some back. What about the battering ram? Is that going to do anything? No! Getting caught back there was Diamond from Blackjacks, but appears to have recovered. Our first finishers come through, and it's not the sign itself, it's that funnel point. Several marbles getting whacked back and forth, and farther back they go. Jelle from Mellow Yellow is back there. This is getting down to the final few moves. Red Eye comes around the outside, gets to the funnel first. There comes the Minty Maniacs, Minty Mint, and Tumult will be last. Well, from start to finish, that was unmitigated chaos. Only appropriate that the Balls of Chaos are the first to be eliminated. Not in a bad spot right there. It was Mellow Yellow taking the brunt of that bell carousel. And so, after just one race, Tumult gets to watch the rest of this unfold. Already scarred from so many of those hits, Momo for Team Momo gets the win. Talk about a team that has found success lately, and oh, that's tricky. Getting shuffled back there to the side instead of falling in. I believe that was Ecto from Team Plasma. Look up top there. Momo, they get a special priority lane to drop in because they won that first round. All future winners will get that lane and try to find a quicker way down this course. Resi for the Raspberry Racers is currently at the back. Oh, you hear those clothespin snappers going up front. One of them's already dislodged, and marbles hitting against it. That was a very good move by Shimmer to gain 3 or 4 spots by taking that line. Oh man, that spinner is delivering some hurt. Not to the last place marbles, though. They actually find some advantage by reaching it when it's already stopped. It's the Limers that are in last place right now. And that is Slime Lime. Crazy Chevron, didn't hear too many collisions there. Battering Ram has been tripped, but most of the field is already by. Bell Carousel having some trouble winding up. There's so many marbles down there. Across the finish line, Tarako will win it for the O-Rangers. Oh, look at it go now. That's a lot of speed. And I think Slime Lime has gotten out of it and is now trying to move up. Just a few spots left. This is not trending well for the Green Ducks. And wait, somebody else is farther up. Ecto is apparently stuck somewhere on the course. So looking for Ecto right now, still there at the top, just off your screen, and that's where that marble stayed. Too many getting by. And all momentum stopped, and that was all she wrote. Team Plasma, 2 races in. They are the second marble to be eliminated. Tarako didn't need to rush into that funnel, had plenty of space, so Tarako, the winner of round 2, will start in that priority lane up there for race number 3. Off once more. How fast can Tarako get up there? Comes through in 3rd or 4th spot past that first pinch point. And it's the Savage Speeders who are in last right now, trying to make up some of those spots. It is Speedy. As they seesaw back and forth. Clothespin snappers, they release those little ball bearings, but not sure how much chaos that caused either. Oh, and there it goes. Really, it's those arms that are so devious. It's one thing to have that spinner going. It's another to funnel the marbles right into it. And the Savage Speeders have gotten off of last place. Oh, those are hard hits from that crazy chevron. And 2 from the battering ram. Savage Speeders once again in last. They were battling with the Pinkies, I believe, to avoid getting eliminated. Pinky Panther was back there. Let's see if that marble stays. There's the gap for the back 2. Speedy's got to get going here. Needs to find a good way around. Watching for Pinky Panther. No, wait. The Bell Carousel is still claiming victims. And it sounds like that last victim will be Speedy. But can Speedy get by here? It's a battle with the Thunderbolts. Shock moves to the side. Can't get through in time. The race down to the funnel will be won by Speedy. And it's Shock, whose race is done. Looking at all of these shots so far, Shock was in such a good position. The Bell Carousel really evened things out between Savage Speeders and Thunderbolts. Door was open. Right there, that was the key move. An extra roll to the side. And Shock went from a wide open gap down to the finish to chasing Speedy fruitlessly. The winner of round 3 is Gnome for the Cobalts. Whoa! That was a nice move going right around there at the end. And here are all of the remaining marbles after the first few races that constitute event number 1. No points needed because all you're doing is surviving. That's the main thing. Shock, Ecto, and Tumult, they are out. Event 2 coming up next. Races 4 through 7. You will not want to miss it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Three races made up event number 1 here in the second season of the Marble Survival Tournament. And that meant that 3 marbles only got a taste of what this tournament has to offer before they were eliminated and settled into the bottom 3 positions in the tournament format. Tumult, Ecto, and Shock went out in that order. Everybody else is back for a new week, including me. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. The Whacker and the Swatter are 2 new devious contraptions that await our competitors. The ball-bearing bashers, they return. The flippers are also in the mix. The ball-bearing magnets. Watch when these bearings settle on those magnets, how much they quiver and how much energy they hold. The side sweepers, that looks very narrow through there. The fidget spinner masher is back. And so too are all of the marbles there, except for those 3 down in the bottom corner. Who will make it out of event number 2, which will consist of 4 races today? The winner of race number 3 up there in the priority lane. And down comes the ball bearing. And down come our competitors. That priority lane getting you a quicker entry, but this is a different course. That is one of the tricky parts about this competition. You can't get used to it because it's changing all the time. Oh, the Whacker is winding up, and you can see marbles being thrown in all different directions. Ooh, that spinner there, releasing the ball bearings. The Swatter is down. And who is back there in the order? That looks like Shimmer. If that is truly the last marble running. Also, Midnight Wisps are in there. That's Wispy. Now gaining some positions. Slime Lime for the Limers. In danger. There go the side sweepers. And also the Fidget Spinner. It's ramping up and, oh, launched somebody into yesterday. Who was that? Is that the Pinkies? Well, if so, they have recovered. No, maybe it was the Snowballs. They are also last in a battle with the Midnight Wisp. Wispy trying to take a quicker line here. There's Shimmer also off the back. Is Shimmer so far behind? Oh, at the last. Getting through right in front of Sheep. And we'll wait for the official scores here. See if anybody is stranded higher up on the course. That's one of the tricky things. If you are that last marble to come underneath that finishing banner and make your way into the funnel, it can be nerve-wracking waiting to see, is your name at the bottom? And in this case, it was. Sheep from the Wolfpack eliminated. Sheep will slot into 29th place, and it was Tarako finding some success early on in this tournament and getting the priority lane for race number 5. Off we go once again, and several marbles just trying to go over that ramp instead of going into that funnel point. Could be a developing strategy if that part of the course stays the same. In the ensuing races, Tarako is once again on a blistering pace down this course. There goes the whacker, and who is going to have any solid hits from it? A couple of marbles were actually sent farther down the course. That is advantageous. All bearings were released, but that was in the thick of the field. Not so much for these marbles that are trying to gain some positions off the back. Once again, Wispy has fallen to the back there. Collision, and trying to get going once again. Moves to the inside and picks up the spot. That was a good move. Looking farther down here. Is that a marble stuck on the trigger there? I think it was. That might have been Diamond from the Blackjacks. Thank goodness some of those other marbles helped, but look at up there right by the spinner. We've got another marble that is stuck. Is that Rojo Uno? And there's Wispy. Can Wispy keep going? Yes. Finishers are happening right now, but who will be last? Well, if indeed Rojo Uno did get stuck, yes, they did. They will become the next marble eliminated. It is such a helpless feeling when you are stuck on one of the obstacles and nobody is coming to save you. Up there at the top, there you can see Rojo Uno watching their last hope breeze on by. The winner of that one was Hop from the Jungle Jumpers, and by a decent margin as well. Continuing to whittle down this field, you'll see there's more room on the starting gate and more room to jockey for positions heading down into that funnel point. Does anybody try to go over it again? Oh yes, they do. Thing is, once you are airborne, you're not in contact with the track, so you lose a bit of control. Is that gamble worth it? Nice move there, trying to get past the swatter, but then getting caught up in those pyramids. Minty Mint is finding that was maybe not the fastest way to go. Back here, there's Red Eye getting hit by the whacker. Making a move down on the inside of Slime Lime, continuing down this course. Ooh, contact once again between those two marbles. Separation now, Red Eye trying to get away. And there is a marble that is stuck on one of the flippers. And was that Momo? We will have to see. Diamond gets the win on this one, but it's still a race to the finish. I don't know if that marble got unstuck. And because you don't know that, you can't really coast across the line here. We're watching to see if anybody comes into the frame. No, they did not. And so, Momo will be eliminated in 27th place. How did it happen? Oh man, some great impacts there from the fidget spinner masher. Contact between those two marbles. It was getting a bit personal there. And yeah, look at that. Slime Lime almost got stuck because that flipper had already deployed, and it's very heavy. Unlikely that any of the competitors just by themselves would have been able to hit it and dislodge it enough to get Momo rolling again. '27th. And meanwhile, round 6 goes to the Blackjacks. How will Diamond use that priority lane up top for race number 7, the final race in event number 2? Down we come. Minty Mint, one of those brave marbles, taking a leap and will lead into that little conical section there. They're still at the lead. No, they have lost it, but they do make it through and avoid going right down the middle there underneath that swatter. The Whackers picking up speed. Raspberry Racers were back there. We'll see if Rezi took any hard hits. Waiting to see any marbles coming onto the screen back there. But there is Rezi, so it appears they have gotten going again. Misty from the Hazers was in last place, but is not right now. We'll see if they can hold on to it. Down below, will the fidget spinner be tripped? Oh no! Oh, another instance of a marble getting stuck on that trigger and then freed later on. Diego is the winner of this one, but who will come in last? Misty is trying to race off ahead of Dash from the Turtle Sliders. It's a great battle between them from the side sweepers. Past the stalled fidget spinner. And into the funnel goes Dash. Then comes Misty, but we have a marble that was launched off the course. What happened there to Snowy? That had to be a fidget spinner for sure. I guess it's theoretically possible that the masher could have launched them hard enough. Let's see if we get a replay. Really taking the scenic route there was Dash. So yes, hearing from race control, Snowy was thrown airborne over one of the sloped triangles at the bottom of the course. Dangerous there. We weren't expecting that. May have to adjust some things later on for the safety of the competitors. From 26th on down, they are out. Yes, almost a quarter of the field are locked into their positions. Everybody else, as long as you don't finish in last, you can survive later on into the Marble Survival Tournament. Event number 3 will comprise races 8, 9, and 10. Rest up, and we'll see you for Event 3. Ooh, slightly more dramatic music this time as we get ready for event number 3 in the Marble Survival Tournament. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Dramatic music and that hint, I wonder what is in store for us today. Just about a quarter of the field has already been eliminated. 26th on down, locked into the finishing order. They are out for the remaining 25 marbles. This is what they will see. The clothespin snappers. The Crazy Chevron. The Bell Carousel returns. The ball-bearing bashers, which in this case look to be tied in with those magnets. Sprung. Ah, we get both the Bell Carousel and the Whacker in this run. That's just begging for a wild finish. Here you go. The teams made their choices. The marbles have already survived multiple events thus far, and it gets to the point in the competition where you are trying to decide what is your play as you come down this course. It's one thing if you start in that priority lane high up top there, but for everybody else, are you trying to get your competitors into trouble, or are you just streaking down the course to guarantee your safety if you think you have the speed, that is? And I can tell you, not all marbles do, knowing how devious this course is. Some of them are just trying to live up to the name of this tournament and survive. There goes the crazy chevron, but it doesn't appear to have done too much. Diego, for the Indigo Stars, out in the lead, and now has been eclipsed past the bell carousel, and now it starts to spin. Several marbles are able to get out of it, but multiple are caught up in it. Minty Mint took a couple of really hard shots in there. Now we get a better look at it. Yes, Minty Mint is still caught up in there along with several others. Down toward the bottom, that's the Pinkies going through the whacker. They will enter the funnel first. Remember, it's where you go into the funnel, not just under the finish line. Pinky Panther gets the win. Diego finishes in second. Gnome goes third in front of Dash. We're waiting farther down. Minty Mint is just adding insult to injury, getting hit by those ball-bearing bashers. And we had 25 marbles coming into this round, and finisher number 25 tells me we had no DNFs. Minty Mint will be eliminated. Went sideways there. You can see right in between those spinners. A bump off of Tarako. But it really was the bell carousel that started to send that marble backwards. Right there, getting caught behind the ball-bearing bashers and just shoved to the side. Not much you can do there, given the weight difference. And so for the Minty Maniacs, their run in the Marble Survival Tournament ends here. Pinky Panther wins round 8. This round starting off event number 3. Pinky Panther will go up to that priority lane. Everybody else back in the starting block. Down they come, and this priority lane gives you a good shot, and it was handled well by Diego last time. Not so much by Pinky Panther here, getting mired in the pack. Watching to see who starts to drop off the most. Pinkies, though, still maintaining, if not the lead all the time. Oh! In a decent position until that crazy chevron. And we get a brief hang up there for Hop from the Jungle Jumpers. The bell carousel, the centrifuge, begins to wind up, and we hear it dinging in the background. Look at how many marbles it has caught. Hop is getting sent backwards, probably the farthest of anyone. Gnome wins the race. And there went Speedy watching over there on the left side of your screen. Who is off the back of the pack? Have we seen Hop yet? We have. And they are in a good battle there with Quacky from the Green Ducks. Those two are still battling it out on a run to the line. Who gets it? Oh, Quacky's eliminated. At the last, those two green marbles going head to head. Ouch. Pinky Panther got airborne there. Shimmer also got a glancing blow. Certainly not glancing here at the bell carousel. And here's the run. Quacky on the bottom, Hop on the top. Shimmer getting in the way. Was that strategic, perhaps? Quacky, 24th. Gnome for the Cobalts. Goes P1 in round 9. This course really swings things back and forth. Several marbles having a great run, and just one obstacle sends them all the way to the back. That is the drama of marble survival. Tarako launching over a couple of those walls and takes the lead. Who else is down there? The Hazers, that's Misty up on top. Lost that second spot and is falling backward in the order. Past the clothespin snappers they go. Oh, hard hits from the Crazy Chevron. C, Indigo in that general vicinity. Taking the high line there, once again for the Cobalts. Gnome is not up in the lead yet, but is slowly working their way forward. Pinkies have been doing a great job of staying out in front. I asked that question at the beginning. Oh wait, look down below, we've got a marble stuck. Couldn't tell who that was, just at a brief glance. Or if anybody managed to dislodge that marble. Look at the traffic jam there on that green little run. Whoa, Astron turning on the jets. Nearly beating everybody to the line down there. As we watch up top, there's another marble that's stuck. But will it be dislodged? That's Saucer from the Purple Rockets. It appears so. That was a helpful shove from Diamond. On the rundown, that's Diamond from the Blackjacks. Saucer comes through in 19th. Now hold on. We had 4 marbles that were eliminated. C is off the course and on the grass. My goodness. Well, and there you can see Radiance side by side with Tarako, where they got caught up. Gnome is higher up on the course. This was a chaotic round. Raspberry Racers, yeah, there's the jam that I mentioned. Oh, and what do the Raspberry Racers do here? Well, freed Saucer. Yeah, there's where Diamond came down and freed Saucer as well. Well, the first marble to go off, the very first DNF of that race, it was C. On a run to the line there. Very close. This little pinch point is adding some spice to some of these races. Well, after event number 3, from 23 on down, they are eliminated. We lost C, Quacky, and Minty Mint. Everybody else lives to race another day. Coming up, races 11 through 14. Will your favorite make it on through? Event 4 of the second season of the Marble Survival Tournament is upon us. This one encompassing races 11 through 14. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. This of course also means we have a different track with a bit of a side-to-side flow to it, just by my eye. Ooh, and some rather devious and sometimes hard-hitting contraptions that may stymie our competitors right out of the gate. It's the fidget spinner masher, the side sweeper, the flippers. The Crazy Chevron is wound and ready to go. The clothespin snappers with those tiny ball bearings. The larger ball bearings, which do the job of bashing. The bell carousel. The ball bearing magnets. And the battering ram. Wow. This is kind of like an all-star event for the types of devices that can lay down some hurt. Over a quarter of the field is eliminated. From 23rd on down, C from the Oceanics was the last marble to be eliminated in event number 3. By the end of this one, we're cracking into the top 20 as we get ready for race number 11. Off we go, and it's Slime Lime up there getting the early jump through the priority lane and is trying to disappear off into the distance. How will this course shape out? The Marble's not able to practice on it prior to this. So what we are seeing, well, that is the first time that they are. Oh, and we got a log jam there. I was going to say this is the first time that we are seeing them navigate this course. There could be peril, and jams like that could happen at any moment. If you take one wrong move and you don't know that there is a stopping point in the lane that you chose, well, too bad. That's going to be your only opportunity to make that correct or incorrect choice. It's Red Eye off the back of the pack right now. Astron is also back there, jostling back and forth. The lead for Slimeline is coming down, but that marble is still in the top spot for the moment. Astron has jumped up by a couple. Tarako is back there in second to last. Red Eye is still playing catch-up, going through those blue wavy portions, and we have a marble briefly stuck. Shimmer for the Shining Swarm was caught between two of those yellow peaks, was able to get going again. Has lost positions, however, and is now second to last. Oh, and there goes a couple of the obstacles. That side sweeper, the flippers right there. There goes one of them. Swatter comes down. Did not see the swatter in the lineup, but you can hear it. The Bell Carousel has been released. Slimeline is one of the ones caught up in it. Wow, was that a ball bearing that shot over everybody? And Hop will win the race over Sheet and Radiance. And looking farther back, is that still Red Eye? Tarako's in, Astron is in. Red Eye getting caught up, hit multiple times. The Bell Carousel catches on itself. And that just leaves Red Eye pending any DNFs. And no, 22nd place. Red Eye is eliminated. This was a very slow course, by the way. We are used to much faster than this. This is some 40 seconds longer on average than what we have seen in the past. There's Red Eye trying to move through that opening. Ball bearings, big and small alike. They love those magnets. Red Eye is out in position 22. Hop will get the win. Remember, it's not the finish line banner up there. It is the entry into that single file lane. You gotta keep racing all the way to the finish. Hop gets the priority run. We saw Slimeline make great use of it before. Slightly less so for Hop this time. Moving through these opening back and forths. Brief hang-ups. These green steps, the side steps, that is where we saw some marbles come to a stop last time. Slimeline, who was in the lead, is in last now, one race later. Dueling back and forth for that last position, but got to keep an eye on everybody else up ahead. You see that stoppage there on the near side of that yellow sweep. Ooh, Shimmer getting past. Now falls into second to last. Savage Speeders in the lead for now. That is Speedy. Through the blue side to sides, taking a peek over on the right side of the screen. Is anybody getting stopped? No. Here in race 12, constituting event number 4. Crafty moves there for a couple of those marbles, trying to stay out and sneaking around that trigger. Whoa, that was great stuff from the Savage Speeders. They just moved around it ever so slightly, and I think they may have dislodged it just enough. Oh, and here we've got a stoppage, but everybody is able to keep going. Once again, that Bell Carousel getting caught up, partially on itself, partially on some marbles. Some moves right at the last, going down into that funnel portion. Savage Speeders were leading, ended up finishing in 11th. On the run down here, that could be the crucial moment right there where Slimeline gets away. And that extra rotation from the Bell Carousel. No, wait, the battle is still going on. Slimeline is eliminated. Diamond sneaks around at the last possible instant. Amazing, so many marbles were bumping up against that trigger and did not move it. That's what happened. Slimeline got caught on the battering ram, and that let Diamond in with a chance. A good entry into the funnel would have given Slimeline a possibility of advancing. But instead, Diamond just kept the foot to the floor, metaphorically, of course. Slime Lime out in 21st position. Wispy from the Midnight Wisps gets the win. A lot of marbles still trying to figure out that entry into that funnel past the finish line. It's like their instincts tell them, oh, look at several of them moving to the side as the ball bearing is coming down. Pinkies and Raspberry Erasers sliding sideways. Anyway, to finish that thought, it's kind of like you have that instinct that the finish line is the finish line, but this event is slightly different. Subverting expectations is really what the Marble Survival Tournament is all about. The marbles have to keep focused. Well, as we come down here in event 13, it is looking like at the back of the field, that could be Arup. And look at how many marbles are in that green entryway to move on, and they just can't get out of each other's way. Look over on the left there. Who is in last place? A couple of marbles bumping their way forward. Swax from the Bumblebees in dead last for right now. Just off the side of our picture there, Hop is moving forward after winning the previous round. A couple of rounds ago. There goes the fidget spinner. Marbles getting sent backwards. This time it's an angry spinner. It's not going to let everybody sneak by this time. Side sweepers and the flippers going off. Crazy Chevron not been deployed yet, but the clothespin snappers have. Here comes Bell Carousel. Winding up, and hey, we've already got our first finisher. Gnome wins the race. And it's still going back there. Working their way. Oh, there's the battering ram! And Arup went flying off the course. Arup received a hit that sent that marble toward the camera and off of the course. Arup is out. We are definitely going to need a replay of that. And getting caught in those spaces between those stair steps means that everybody just rolls right over you. Bell Carousel delivering a bit of pain, but not terrible at that point. Now watch the battering ram come down. There's Arup. Oh, right over that dark green pyramid that acted as a ramp and sent Arup into the grass. Appears to be okay, thankfully. Well, Gnome gets the win, and as a result, becomes the first marble to win 3 rounds of this tournament. It also includes 5 podium finishes. All right, event 14, here we go. Last chance in this event to move on. Those stair steps, the marbles must have learned a little bit. They are avoiding those spaces. Well, Astron couldn't and got overtaken there, but is still not in last place. Shimmer is battling back there with Jelle. Astron comes together there. And Astron is now at the back. Overshoots the entry past the yellow sweep there in that semicircular ramp. And is able to make up some ground. Yes, gets by. A couple of marbles stopping against the red blocks, but now they are picking up the pace. Swax from the Bumblebees is back there once again. And Speedy is stopped, but with a little help, I believe from Radiance, they get going. Still moving along. Boy, the marbles, though, that were watching the end of that race, they saw the power of the battering ram. Several felt the power of the fidget spinner masher, and here it goes again. At least 3 marbles getting caught up in it. Hop goes by and actually gets moved forward, as does Speedy. Side sweeper already been deployed. Astron at the back. Here comes the bell carousel. The centrifuge is winding up. In a battle to the line, Diamond gets the win. Resi goes second. Shimmer goes third. Here's Astron trying to navigate through. Oh, can't do it. The bell keeps throwing that marble backward. Diego from the Indigo Stars. Trying to make it down to the bottom before anything else happens. Oh, Astron! Astron is stuck at the battering ram. Second marble to be caught there, but this is the first marble that will not get going again. Ouch, that was a hard hit for Tarako. Here's where Astron could have stayed in touch with the back of the field, but this moment right here, that's it. Astron is out. It's like deja vu all over again. In 19th place, Astron for Team Galactic has made the top 20. Diamond will get the priority lane as we start the next event, which will begin with round 15. Limers become the first team to win a round in an event and then be eliminated in the same event, in this case, 2 rounds later. So there you see it, dash to the left. They are safe. 19th on down, starting with Astron. They are eliminated. Only a couple of columns left to fill. 15 through 17 coming up next. We have now broken into the top 20. That is all that remains here in Season 2 of the Marble Survival Tournament. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. A brand new course awaits our competitors after one that took some 40 seconds longer than normal last time out. Those who did survive it, though, they've had a little time to rest, but now we throw a brand new configuration at them, and it will be testing. The side sweepers, we will see them higher up the course. Whack is back. The flippers look to be pointed inward, 2 of them side by side. The ball-bearing bashers will be released, and as you can see off the edge of your screen there, it will funnel right down into the clothespin snappers. The ball-bearing magnets are waiting. And so too are these competitors, at least the ones who are not shaded in red. Astron on down, they are eliminated. We are left with the top 18 marbles. Who will survive after event number 5? We've got 15, 16, and 17 rounds on tap here today. Ready in the blocks. And we see 5 marbles sliding to the side, this time after a couple tried it in the last event to see if that would have any benefit. Suddenly moving away. Not sure that it really has, nor did that express lane up top really give that much of an advantage either. Colors upon colors. Oh, we heard the side sweepers. One of them released. That is the top one. Will the bottom one get triggered? Not yet, and most of the marbles are already by. No deployment of the whacker yet. Looking at the marbles that are at least on screen here, we see Tarako at the back. Misty from the Hazers is also back there. We'll see if anybody else is higher up the course, but so far they get through the whacker without it moving. Lucky for them. Logjam starting on that top green triangle, and it is once again Misty that is being left in the dust farther down the course. Oh, what a move! With some speed at the end was that Wispy, who shot on by Radiance and Diamond to get that win. Whoa, one of the ball bearings got some air and was collected on one of the magnets down below. No marbles were caught, but is it Raspberry Racers that will be eliminated here? Well, 15 have finished. I believe we have 18 that were left. Hop and Tarako are stuck. There is Tarako, appears to be fairly high up on the course. Haven't seen Hop yet. I have not seen that marble yet, but if Tarako was caught higher up the course, and that's exactly how it happened right there. then the O'Rangers marble is eliminated. And that is the determination. Characo had a great run, flirted with disaster on numerous occasions, and ends up finishing in 18th. Wispy from the Midnight Wisps gets the win and will have that priority lane to start round 16. Marbles can't see that ball bearing once it drops, but they can certainly feel it. And that first drop, that is often when they start to slide to the left. Not so this time. So I mentioned last round, didn't seem to have too much of an advantage. Well, the Marbles have quickly learned, and they did not do it this time around. Raspberry Racers at the back with Resi. Speedy is also back there, but is moving forward as they go through that minefield. All of those little points. Now, the slalom back and forth. Dash from the Turtle Sliders off to the left there. There's the whacker. It started to wind up. A couple of hard hits, but so far, most marbles being sent down the course or sideways. I think Pinky Panther was one of the recipients that went laterally, but nobody really was hurting too much. Let's see down below here. Oh, what a finishing move. Diamond saw it done by Wispy last time around and said, I'm going to try that. Goodness, those ball bearings, they get airborne and they carry some energy. Question is, who will be eliminated? Looking farther on back, was that Resi still in there? Well, there is Speedy, but where is everybody else? Speedy is looking like the last marble on course. Yes, there is 16th finisher in Resi. Speedy not living up to the name this time and will be eliminated. This is a run of shame at this point. Just desperately trying to get down the course as quickly as possible, hoping nobody's going to notice, but managing to hit every single rake that is laid at that marble's feet. Speedy is out and will finish in 17th. Still looking okay at that point. Here's the whacker when it got going. Hop was delivered through it rather expediently, as were several others. But yes, at this point it was all lost for Speedy. You could see the motivation completely gone. Was just letting gravity do its thing at that point, not fighting it, resigned to the fact that this marble did make it almost to the halfway point of this competition. Diamond from the Blackjacks, having a pretty good run so far in these tournaments. We'll have to see here in race 17 if that marble can survive the final elimination of the event. Hard into that red block goes Diamond, but picking that center lane and dashing off. Pinky Panther was toward the back of the field there, but we'll see as things move in this stratifying portion of the course. Lots of time to be gained or lost here. Side sweeper up top has been triggered, not so on the bottom. Brief glimpse that we got. It was still Pinky Panther in last. Here comes the whacker, starting to spin. Most marbles smartly taking that top line because that's the way that the whacker is going to help you get through it. If you try to go in the middle, you're going to go backwards. Pinky Panther has caught the back of the field and looks to be moving forward, not in last anymore. Great recovery after a very rocky start. Several marbles farther on back. Down at the finish line, they go side by side. Dash manages to shoulder hop aside and will get the win and the priority lane for event number 6 and round 18. Now in the run down to the finish. Misty gets in front of Wispy and swacks. Radiance is off the back of the pack and still not seen, and that's because Radiance is stuck. The Solar Flares run in the Marble Survival Season 2 tournament is done. Swack's getting shoved aside by that side sweeper. Several marbles hitting that attenuator, and we've seen that catch out several over the course of this tournament. There is the point that Radiance got stuck, almost made it, just needed half a rotation more, and couldn't get it done. Half of all of the field has been eliminated. Dash with an incredible move. Remember, it's not the finishing banner back there, it's the entry point into that funnel, into that pinch. These are the marbles that remain. Is your favorite still in the mix? Will they make a run at the tournament? You don't have to win every single round. You just have to avoid finishing last. And so far, everybody's still on that screen, not in red. They've done it. Can they continue? Full of twists and turns, drama, roller coasters of emotion. We're far enough into the Marble Survival Tournament that you know anything is possible. And we've reached now event number 6. This includes rounds 18, 19, 20, and 21. We're well inside of the top 20 for finishers. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. As we whittle down the field even further, this is what they'll have to face. The ball-bearing bashers. The side sweepers, the ball-bearing magnets, the fidget spinner masher, clad in yellow, the popsicle barriers, forcing you to take one direction. Same with the swatter, although a couple of marbles, that's landed on them before. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. Here is who's left. You can see we're over half of the field has been eliminated. Radiance was the previous for the Solar Flares. Came in 16th. Ball bearing on its way down. And we are off. Our first look at this new course. You saw Dash from the Turtle Sliders have that priority lane up top. Dash is one of those marbles who is trying to dash off into the distance and has the lead right now. Great pathway there for Rezi on the top side as that ball bearing wobbles its way through the course. Very green down through there. Oh, now it's yellow and ouch. Not so much seeing yellow as seeing stars. Several marbles getting hit hard. The geometry of this course feeds you right into that fidget spinner masher. And we'll see if those marbles can recover. Diamond, I think, took one of the hardest hits initially, but several others made solid contact as well. Top side. Oh, wait. Was that Diamond that was caught? Have to see. Nope. It appears that they've gotten going again. Those popsicle barriers had fallen down. It seemed like one marble was caught on the trigger, but they are able to keep going. On the race to that pinch point in the funnel, Dash will come in 14th. That means somebody is caught higher up on the course. It's not, oh yes it is. It is Diamond. Oh man. Swax and Jelle both taking some really hard hits, and ouch. So too was Sheet from the Gliding Glaciers. There, up top of the screen, that is what I saw. Diamond stuck. And will go no further than 15th. The winner was Sheet from the Gliding Glaciers, despite taking that hard whack from the fidget spinner. Nice run to the line there. Remember, it's the single file point. It is not the finishing banner. Sheet dashes away through that priority lane and the wobbly waves up there on top as the field, for the most part, takes the bottom lane. Misty looked like off the back of the course. One of the ball bearings has been tripped. Comes down the near side, playing a dangerous game there. It's Diego from Indigo Stars. Neither of the side sweepers have been deployed at this point. Will anybody trip the fidget spinner? This is much more of a hair trigger than what we've seen in the past. Wispy might have taken 2 separate hits, but is avoiding being in last place. Looked like it is actually Sheet from the Gliding Glaciers that was back there. Swatter falls down. No, now it's switched back around. Sheet not in last place. We've already got a finisher. That's Swax from the Bumblebees. Hop and Jelle get the top 2 and 3 positions sorted out. Oh no, it looks like Rezi is stuck on that triangle within sight of the finish line. Rezi. Oh, right below where I am seated. Sorry, friend, nothing I can do from up here. Oh, and at that point, Rezi was one of the recipients of all that stored energy in the fidget spinner. Here's where the swatter comes down. And right there, nobody's coming to help you. I'm not sure how Rezi even ended up over there. Such an odd place. And a helpless feeling. Rezi, 14th. Swax from the Bumblebees had a clear path to win round 19 in Event 6. Boy, that starting gate looking rather large, quite spacious. Oh, and Hop starts to roll to the left. Let's see if that works any better, and Hop was one of the first 4 or 5 marbles through. He's losing some positions now. What can Swax do with that priority lane advantage? Haven't seen that marble on the screen yet. One of the ball bearings rolling down amidst the field. Was that Swax that got hit forward? That might have been Jelle by one of the side sweepers. There goes the other side sweeper. And there goes the fidget spinner. Oh! Really hard hit there. And was that Gnome that took that hit? Probably see that in replay. That was solid. All right, Swax is still in the lead, it appears. I'll take that center line. It appears to be a little quicker. Shimmer gets the win over Swax. Jelle comes third. Now in this run down to the line. Lots of marbles still out on the course. This gap between 4th and 5th is massive. Wobbling there is Saucer on the run down to the line. Unlucky number 13. Goes to the Purple Rockets, Saucer. That was where Jelle got hit for Mellow Yellow. There is that hard hit by Gnome. Ouch. You heard the audience react to that impact. Square into the wall. And right there, there's the same point where Rezi got stuck, but at that point, Saucer had already been mired in the pack. All hope was gone. The winner of round 20, Shimmer from the Shining Swarm. Just 1 round to go in Event 6. Who will it be? And down they come. Misty goes right over the wall. That's a high-risk, high-reward move. And it's paid off thus far for Misty, but this is a long course. By now, the marbles have had several attempts at it. They understand some good ways to work their way down this course without getting trapped or falling into some of those obstacles. Yes, Misty taking that top line, but the field is catching up rather quickly. There goes the fidget spinner and another hard hit. Thankfully, that time, most of the energy was dispelled early in the release of the fidget spinner. It did not keep going and delivering pain. We're looking at Diego from the Indigo Stars on the bottom. Top side, that's Swax from the Bumblebees. Are these two our back marbles? Jelle gets the win. This was a really solid event for Jelle overall. Swax falling back. Elbows, Sheet aside, and down into the basin. Diego at the last staves off elimination. Sheet has slid on out of this competition. Lots of close contact impacts for that fidget spinner. Here is Sheet continually getting shouldered aside at every step of the way. Swax as well. Well, the Glaciers have glided slowly toward elimination, but it caught up with them this time. Out in 12th. Jelle, in the meantime, will move to the next event with that priority lane. That'll be round 22, if you can believe it. That leaves just a few marbles left. 11 of them to be exact. Is your favorite among them? How did your team do thus far in the Marble Survival Tournament? You don't have to win, you just have to survive to move on to the next round, but we're getting ever closer to crowning a champion. Big debate up and down the paddock as we are knocking on the door of the top 10. Do you race your own race, or do you try to make it difficult for your competitors? It's a question we are about to answer in round 22 to start off Event 7 of the Marble Survival Tournament. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Look at that veritable minefield that we have of obstacles. Let's take a look at the official ones, though. The swatter gets us started higher up the course, leading to the bell carousel. Those flippers are poised, and they look like they are ready to send you right back into the clutches of the bell carousel. The clothespin snappers follow. The side sweepers. Locked and loaded is the fidget spinner masher. The ball-bearing bashers are ready to be released at what could be a pivotal point in the course, followed by the ball-bearing magnets. The popsicle barriers. The crazy chevron, also loaded and ready. And so too are our competitors. Just 11 remain. Sheet was the most recent to be eliminated, just in front of Saucer and Resi. Down they come with just 11 marbles. This course seeming a lot more voluminous than it actually is. Jelle was on the top side and got that priority lane, but is now falling backward in the order. Diego from Indigo Stars was in last spot, but as I say that, Dash assumes the position, needing to continue fighting throughout this course. It's a long racetrack. And as we see, several very crucial points that could come into play in the ensuing rounds. Ready for the first official obstacle of this race. And that is the swatter. It comes down, but does not really do too much. In the fight for the lead was Misty from the Hazers. Gets by cleanly. Nobody took a very heavy spin around the bell carousel quite yet, although a couple of hits at the end there came from Pinky Panther. Nobody's tripping the fidget spinner masher. I think the consensus among all of the competitors is let's see what this course is about before we get too tricky on each other. That is also a very important point right there, trying to decide which pathway do you take around that yellow section. Could make quite a difference. There goes one of the popsicle barriers came down, and it fed Hop right into the trigger and the brute that is the crazy chevron. Diego still well off the back of the field. Is going to need a miracle at this point as Dash wins the round. Hop. Pinky Panther. Oh, this is within sight. The Midnight Wisp might have a chance here, and they do! Right at the end, getting by Wispy, Diego snatches advancement from the jaws of elimination. Those side sweepers, there was the impact from Hop. It actually moved that yellow piece of the track. And here was the crucial moment. Wispy having trouble on the top side. Diego finds a good seam down the middle and is already poised for that funnel entry. But by having to come from the side, Wispy was not in a good enough angle to squeeze through and instead gets eliminated. Dash wins round 22 and will start in that priority lane for round 23. Just 3 rounds in this particular event. Down we come. This to lock in 10th place in the Marble Survival Tournament. Hop and Misty swapping around at the back right now. Seesawing over those triangular blocks, forcing you to slalom. Hop in last. Bumps Misty. Also in the mix is Swax from the Bumblebees. Fudge from the Chocolatiers. Briefly looked in danger, but has now recovered very nicely. That's a dangerous game to play up front if you're a Dash from the Turtle Sliders, bumping against the Bell Carousel, and now it's been triggered. There was a sportsman's agreement the first time down, but now, oh, that was a nice landing, stuck by that ball bearing from the clothespin snapper. Side sweepers are being released. Hop is having trouble. Misty as well gets through. Misty gaining ground slightly, but now mistake on the entry into that narrow section. Once again, the fidget spinner masher has not been triggered. It's a straight race down to the bottom. Here comes the crazy chevron. Not a lot of damage done, just to one single marble, and that was Diego. Hop. Nice bit of a cushion in front of Misty. Fudge wins the race. Jelle comes second. What can Hop do here? Trying to stay well in front of, we assume, Misty. Yes, there's Misty right there. And it is a foregone conclusion at this point. The final captain left in the Marble Survival Tournament finishes in 10th. Pivotal right there. That little shoulder aside that Hop did. Oh, that was Gnome getting on the wrong side of one of the other side sweepers. And wow, that was a potentially dangerous corner to get launched into from the crazy chevron. Misty has made it into the top 10, but only just, and that is all the farther that Marble will reach. Survival at this point has been a spectacle to watch. The stakes only getting higher as we're now in single digits remaining. Final round of this event. Fudge on the top side is released. Didn't get a great start, but does exit those semicircles rather quickly. In a head-to-head right now with Shimmer toward the front. Hop once again at the back. Diego, familiar back there as well. Pinky Panther gets moved aside. Those two blue flecked marbles, Diego and Gnome. Working their way down through this yellow portion. Anybody going to trip the swatter? Not among the top 3. Down it comes. Heading over to the far side. A couple of collisions with the Bell Carousel. Now it goes. And for the most part, everybody gets through. That was well done. Pinky Panther, the recipient of one of the side sweepers. There goes the other one. And the fidget spinner masher has been released. Diego takes the brunt. One hit. Second hit goes to Dash from the Turtle Sliders, and they get by. Hop still off the back of the pack right now. Goes to the top side. As long as you can see your competitors by the time you enter that lower minefield, you've got a chance, but things are getting pretty desperate for Hop. A friendly swat from the Crazy Chevron goes Swax, sending that marble farther down. But Pinky Panther wins the race, guarantees priority lane next time. Great recovery for Diego to go up into second place. Here comes Hop with some speed, but loses out. Dash trying to get through that field, and does. And that seals Hop's fate. Cannot jump out of the way of elimination this time. Hop is eliminated in 9th place, and we are down to our top 8. There were those 2 hits. Shimmer also took a couple of whacks in there. That was a hard hit from that Crazy Chevron. Well, Hop made a race of it at the end, but had lost too much ground higher up on the course to bring it home safely. The Jungle Jumpers still proud of their teammate for finishing in 9th of 32 that started this tournament. Battered and bruised they are, but the finish line is in sight. After Event 7, from 9th on down, they are locked into their positions. Did your favorite make it to the top 8? Who do you believe will make it all the way to the end and win Season 2 of the Marble Survival Tournament? Boy, and we've got a big finale in store, rounds 25 through 32. Who will make it through an 8-round gauntlet? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. The Marble Survival Tournament has represented grit, determination, difficulty in the face of long odds. So many factors that are at play both for you and against you, not to mention all the competitors that you have to beat along the way. It is a race of attrition, but it is also a race not of perfection, but of strategy. Don't finish last. That's the only edict there is. If you can avoid that, you will move on. Facing our competitors in this course, the Fidget Spinner Mashers, the Side Sweepers, the Ball-Bearing Bashers, the Ball-Bearing Magnets, the Popsicle Barriers, heading into that wave section. The Crazy Chevron is ready to go, coiled up. Here are all of the marbles that have not made it to the final event of this tournament, and here are the 8 who have. 2 teams here today have made it into the top 3 back in the Marble Survival 100. They have a chance to get top 3 again in season number 2. Pinky Panther up there in the priority lane, and we are off. Just a few events to go within sight of the finish line. There goes the Fidget Spinner, and it has some hard hits. Whoa! Dash went airborne on the impact. Shimmer was far enough back there after the impact that actually made it okay around that Fidget Spinner, avoiding more hits. Those 3 blue marbles together, that's Diego, Gnome, and Dash. Farther down, Fudge from the Chocolatiers is in the lead. Pinky Panther gets sent backwards by one of the Side Sweepers. Here go the Ball Bearings. Swax is in the middle of them and feels just how solid those are. They've managed to catch each other, those Ball Bearings, so they actually limited what damage they could do. Shimmer has caught up to the back of the pack and sneaks on by out of last place. Up front, it is Jelle from Mellow Yellow. Swax from the Bumblebees. There goes one of the Popsicles, directing them toward the middle. Diego briefly had the lead. Here comes the Chevron, and it catches nearly everybody. At least among the leaders. Down at the bottom, Jelle finishes first, and then it is a race clambering into that pinch point, which is the finish line, and left out to dry, that's Gnome for the Cobalts. There you can see Gnome taking a hit. There was the airborne moment by Dash. Swax and Pinky Panther getting that first side sweeper. I think Jelle caught the second one. There is where Shimmer got by Gnome. Crazy Chevron delivering some whacks for just about everyone, maybe not Diego on the top side. Gnome makes it to the final event, but in the first round of that final event is eliminated. Jelle wins this round. Round 25 of what will be 31. See, it's so arduous, they trimmed off one. I'm just kidding. All right, Jelle up in that top lane. 7 marbles remain. Down we go. And Jelle, taking full advantage, makes it to that pinch point and comes out in the lead. Desperately trying to sneak by, but the fidget spinner masher goes. Oh, 2 really hard hits for Fudge from the Chocolatiers. We'll have to see on replay. There were at least 2 other marbles that took some very solid impacts that left them shaken. Shimmer in the lead at this point. That was a very delayed, subtle hit on that side sweeper. Quite strategic by the Shining Swarm member. And that gives Shimmer some space. Most of the obstacles at that point have been tripped for Fudge, who's got to dig deep here to avoid elimination in 7th place. Can almost see the back of the field. Shimmer went through that top portion, not through the waves. Let's see if that is the faster or slower way. Remember, they've only had 1 look at this course. A little hiccup from the Crazy Chevron doesn't deliver all the power that it had coiled. And once again, here is Fudge on the rundown. Nearly everybody finishes. Yes, there we go. Everybody has finished. Fudge from the Chocolatiers will come in 7th. Chocolatiers fans are absolutely thrilled with that, though. They have seen their team member do oh so much, but 2 hits from that fidget spinner. You saw the first one a moment ago. Here comes the second. Only so much you can do at that point. But they are standing and saluting a top 10 finish for Fudge. Shimmer from the Shining Swarm will get the priority lane next time around for round 27 of 31. Now, we've heard that for the final 3 races, that fast track bonus up there is going to go away. It's just going to be a straight fight out of the gate. Down they come once more. It is Dash at the back of the field right now, but a great move, but can't avoid the fidget spinner. Gets caught in the corner 3-4 times. Also sent backwards was Swax, who left the screen for quite some time before eventually continuing to descend down the course. There's Swax from the Bumblebees. Looking at the results of the Marble Survival 100, it was Swax who came in 3rd. He's trying to do better this time around. 2 of the ball bearings have been released. It sends Jelle backwards. It sends Diego sideways. Swax, quite some distance to make up in the final half of this course. Needs to slalom a bit quicker than that. Meanwhile, down below, Shimmer gets by the Crazy Chevron without triggering it. Good move there by Jelle to get by. Also misses the trigger. There it goes, but really only helps Diego, who gets launched forward on the recoil. 3 have finished, 4, 5 have finished, and that makes it a foregone conclusion. It won't be a top 3 for the Bumblebees. It will be a top 6. Still, one incredible result in the 2nd season of the Marble Survival Tournament. Here was a key moment. Pinky Panther went airborne. That's where Swax not only went backward, but just disappeared for a while. Had to find a different way down the course after regrouping. A fidget spinner sending that marble into last week. Swax from the Bumblebees just missed out on a top 5. Comes home in 6th, and in the run down to the line, it was a duel originally between Shimmer and Pinky Panther. Dash sneaks by. Says, don't mind if I do. So Dash will try to live up to the name here in round 28 on that top side. Just a few rounds left. It's getting closer and closer, every single one. The moves, the errors all become magnified at this point. Pinky Panther took a lot of hits right there. Shimmer, same thing. They are still getting batted backward. And as they finally leave the fidget spinner masher, Pinky Panther is in last. Briefly had a look on the inside of Shimmer, tries to do it again, and this time makes the move stick. Let's see if Shimmer can pull the over-under. Nope, we take a look down at the side sweeper, which is deployed. The second side sweeper puts Dash many lengths behind at that point. The ball bearings triggered there. Will the other one go? No, it stays stuck. Shimmer almost had a move made there, but the door closed very quickly by Pinky Panther. Crazy Chevron hits Diego, and oh, that was a dangerous point where Diego could have gotten stuck, and instead lives to roll another day. Shimmer is way back there. Diego will get the win in front of Dash and Jelle. Pinky Panther comes through in fourth. And that is astounding because Pinky Panther was side by side with Shimmer through most of that course. And instead, the gap at the end ends up being rather sizable. Here is when they still were lockstep. The side-to-sides was where they went back and forth. Oh, right there. That was a key move. Perhaps goading Shimmer to go up that little pyramid. And instead, on the roll backwards, ends up behind a wall while Pinky Panther dances off into the distance. Dash, once again, those finish line heroics. Remember, it's not under the banner. It is where they enter that single file phase. And here we go. Final 3 races. No priority lane. 4 marbles side by side in a straight run to the line to keep their hopes alive to win the Marble Survival Tournament Championship. Dash in the lead. Pinky Panther trying to go to the inside and works together with Diego to seal that off. And just like that, Dash goes into last, but let's see him seesaw back and forth. Dash goes into second now. Pinky Panther tries to go wide and does work around 2 marbles to get back into second place. Diego at the point. Contact in the yellow portion there. Pinky Panther goes back ahead. It took 3 impacts to trigger that first side sweeper, not so on the bottom one. It impacted Dash most of anyone. Both ball bearings triggering and quivering back and forth. An outside move and a burst of speed from Pinky Panther. And wow, that was a definitive move that has given Pinky Panther a cushion into the bottom part of this course, but the Crazy Chevron will try to take it away. Just 1 hit. And that's all. Pinky Panther gets by relatively unscathed. Dash in second. Yes, Pinky Panther cruises to a win. With all that clear track, you notice how the marbles play this one differently. It is more inclined to speed. The obstacles are what they will be. And Diego will come up short, just misses the podium in 4th place. The moves are a lot more frenetic in this round as they relate to each other. You're not triggering so many traps because the risk-reward is outweighed a little bit there on the risk side. Some do get triggered, but just by happenstance. Unlucky bounce there for Diego, hitting that point of one of the on-track barriers. Pinky Panther wins, but there's no priority at this point. It's just momentum, perhaps. Three to go. One of these, Jelle, was in the top 3. The runner-up, in fact, of the Marble Survival 100. Down they come. Who will continue on the march? And who will get the bronze? Pinky Panther and Jelle in front of Dash, but Dash seems to do well in the bottom part of this course especially. trying to position and hoping for an impact there to gain some spots. Couldn't do it through the first 2 tries. Can he do it this time? The marble does. Dash finds Pinky Panther waiting on the recoil and takes the lead because of it. Bumps against the trigger. All 3 of them get by. Same thing for both side sweepers on the bottom. Will they trigger the ball bearings? Dash does. The second one goes but stays in its cage. Dash in the lead. Pinky Panther peeking over the shoulder through the slaloms. Jelle is back there. Dash clears Pinky Panther, does not bother with the popsicle, goes topside. Now it falls, and that middle lane appears to be quicker. Pinky Panther goes to the lead, but the crazy chevron swats that marble backwards. Jelle takes P1 right now. Where is Dash? Right there. Jelle will come down to the pinch point, win round 2, and unless Dash can do it at the end, not this time. No finish line heroics can save Dash, as Pinky Panther goes into second place. We'll move on. And the Turtle Sliders have gained a 3rd place. Once again on the rundown, you look at where the opportunities were compared to where they could have lost time. This was a lot of playing the averages. Lots of speed, too, if you look at the times. So Jelle wins and will go head-to-head with Pinky Panther. Side by side for the final race to crown a champion in the Marble Survival Tournament. Down they go. Jelle, quickest to that first point. As they go back and forth, you can see the speed building. Contact there. Pinky Panther goes up into the lead and shuts the door on Jelle as they begin the side-to-sides. Let's see if they avoid contact with each other. Jelle is desperately going to be trying to get in Pinky Panther's way. Can't do it there for a second time. Is 3rd time the charm? Yes! Jelle makes the move stick. Through the yellow portion of the course. Pinky Panther gets by and deploys the side sweeper. Sends Jelle backwards. This is the biggest gap that they've had in this race so far. But Pinky Panther goes wide. Jelle is able to get through into the slaloms. Back and forth they go. Through the red left-hander, now to the blue. Pinky Panther tries for the collision and gets it. Nudges against the trigger, but the popsicle does not fall. Both of our leaders take the top line. They are forced into it. They come together, and Jelle shoulders by, only to get clouded by the crazy chevron. Pinky Panther is sent down the course en route to a championship. Jelle finishes second for the 2nd year running. What a race that was. 2 crafty marbles who know this game well. There was a crucial moment. First to the trigger when it's head-to-head like that, you know you've got to do it. And coming right back there, Pinky Panther sees that impact. This was the moment of the race. Choosing to trigger the crazy chevron, not in a great spot, and on the swing back, it's a boost for Pinky Panther, a team that was introduced in the Marble League in 2016. Pinky Panther added as a reserve before the Marble League in 2018. Fast forward, and that marble has delivered a championship to the Pinkies. Winner of the Marble Survival Tournament. What redemption for a team that finished dead last in the Marble League 2020 qualifiers. They had a rough stretch for a while. They did qualify back for the Marble League in 2022. This is a team that has 6 times been in the Marble League. They won it back in 2022. And they put all of their hopes on Pinky Panther, who for 31 races never finished in last. Taking a look at the final standings, up on the podium, Pinky Panther with the gold, Jelle with the silver, and Dash with the bronze. Diego just missed out over Shimmer. Swax, Fudge, Gnome, Hop, and Misty rounding out the top 10. But even the marbles that were eliminated very early in this tournament stayed around to salute those who survived. And thank you for staying with us as well. For Jelle's Marble Runs, I'm Greg Woods. We'll see you next time.